Oh, hey there. It looks like you may not have subscribed yet, so please do me a favor and consider taking a moment, going down, and possibly hitting the subscribe button. Did you do it? Did you do it? No? Did you? All right. Okay. Let's just get into whatever's going on. What is going on? It's Rob, aka FlightSimToday. And again, I always say this, please do click that subscribe button down below. It takes 2 seconds of your life of this video to go and do that. It just motivates me to continue bringing you content as much as I can. But with that said, today we are looking at Verticalsim's Norfolk International Airport. That's Kilo Oscar Romeo Foxtrot. Priced at $11.99 US. Dead straightforward to download, but this basically is a rebuilt product. So yes, it was on X-Plane, and X-Plane users will actually get a 10% discount if you've already got the product, but it's been rebuilt for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So that's pretty cool already. It's got HDR lighting matching the real world photographs, the 2020 airport layout, so it's bang up to date. It currently has, it can be hand-picked objects, um, the ground textures, so like say there, remove trees, fix the water, any issues at the end of runway 23, but they've gone to town on it. So it'll be super interesting now when we get into the sim to actually see, what the differences are between the default and the add-on. But that said, let's go and see the installation. So we've downloaded the product, it's ready to install. So let's basically see what happens. We attempt to install this. Okay, so it's basically going to ask us now what we're trying to install. Well, that's kind of obvious really, since there's only one selected. So next, the destination, point installer to Microsoft Flight Simulator community folder. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so it's now in the community folder. Let's install it. So it's now showing completed. Let's click next. Click here to check out more scenery. No, we're fine. We're going to close it. And that's it. Super straightforward. So it doesn't recognize the community folder. It asks you to point towards it. Simple as that. Let's move on. So just like with any scenery we install, it's always worth seeing the default settings so we know what changes are made and how the airfield looks right after we've made them. So here we are facing runway 23, and as you can already see, it's got a lot of default, well, it's bound to have default textures, it's default scenery. The one thing I will see here, you've got the control tower, so it's going to be worth noting what the control tower looks like after, because I know Microsoft Flight Simulator has a few issues with control towers. But you've got the terminal is over here, and we've got a closed off runway, or at least one end of the runway is closed off, and then a secondary terminal, like a small GA apron maybe, or that will be the GA apron over here, and then here's the control tower, which, to be fair, and it's not, some of the control towers we see, it's not at all that bad, but I always think it's very blocky and on the whole not nice to look at. So here we are back in the sim. The scenery is now installed, and already I can notice a significant difference. It does look a lot neater. I do like the texture on the grass. It looks a bit more weathered. The runway looks much more appealing. Not too sure about the brake. Maybe we can see a brake up here. I'm not too sure about that, but this looks weathered, looks well used, and these markings down here, really do add a new sense to the scenery. And again here, with the different sort of asphalt colouring, definitely like that. If we just come down a little bit, okay, it's just loading in. So I was wondering if it was the textures that were looking a little blurry down there. Now there is one thing I do want to show you, which is confusing me. As you can see in the lake, ignoring this, because this is the sim, but from a distance, they look like dead fish. But actually, they're not. They are, well, I guess they're crocodiles. And I don't really know. Look, he's kind of saying something. I love you, man, K-man. Like, what's going on here? Is that like some kind of weird Easter egg? You know, the guy's got his backside out. He's been eating kind of thing. Yeah. You know, Vertical Sims, do you care to answer what is going on in this scene? Because I don't really know right now. But yeah, anyway, we'll carry on. So you can see from here, you know, this is now modeled in much more nicer. You know, definitely has a bit more a realism to it there with the tanks. Looks more like a maintenance and firehouse. And then we head over to the main terminal. We've got remote stands and then the actual gates of airport vehicles, jetways. The roof is not the most high texture. It kind of lets it down from there. You know, from you go over here, this again, not the most high texture. Well, it's not, if you're being honest, but because they've got those 3D shapes on there, 3D objects, almost get away with it. But this just looks horrendous. So I think they could have worked on the roof. That's for sure. And again, you know, we've got a car park. I don't know if you know, these shadows just modelled on because they don't look very good. And poor quality textures on the car park. The actual asphalt's not too bad. You know, it's weathered. And I guess if you're flying, you'd rather have high quality textures here, and you wouldn't see the roofs. But if you're flying overhead, you know, you look down, you want to see it a bit better. Now, this is a common one. This. Look at the cars, all mashed together. Yeah, that doesn't look pretty. You know, the cars all mashed. Again, you know, this car looks like it's been bleeding. I can see what they've done. They've obviously taken satellite imagery, and then placed a car over the top. But they tried it there with the same colour car, so just here, and left this one and missed it. So I can see what they tried to do, but it's just not quite worked out in areas, look, where you've got all these cars all kind of mashed together in a blaze of glory. But I do like the markings, like the runway markings like that, and that's really crisp and nice. So I think they could have worked on the buildings more, the textures of the buildings a little better. You know, it's not too bad from here, but they're just blatantly poor quality. But I definitely like the people. You know, the people moving around, that's a really nice feature. Yep. So it looks nice and corrugated. There's no hangars that I can see to get into. Because the one thing we saw on a recent Vertical Sim review was when you went inside, they kind of just left the roof underneath kind of bland. But there's no open ones to go and visit and have a look in. And then the control tower, again, low textures. So now we've zipped around it, let's go and see what it looks like with the different weather layouts. So here we are, it's all stormy, and I'll say it every single time in every review I do like the rain. It bounces off the ground like this. It's really nice. A couple of things I want to check. The roof, although it's poor textured, it definitely does look like it was wet. Yeah, these shadows are definitely painted on. It's probably where the cars have been in the satellite imagery. The rain's not bouncing off here, which I thought would be the case. So the textures that they used on the roofs and things We've got no rain textures, unfortunately. You will have on the obviously the terminal and the apron, which I guess overall you'd have that, you'd take that. There's certain touches that are missing on this, but it's not so bad, the rain. Let's go and see what it's like when it's snowing. Very nice. But where you've got the aircraft have been, you've got different styles of snow coverings around the stands, which is nice. And then light coverings here. Runway's clear, which you would expect. This, I don't believe, should be like this. It should look like this all the way along. But considering we've looked at a fair few sceneries over our time, most of the taxiways are covered really nicely. You know, this really feels like it's been snowing, the snow is cleared and it's crisp. Look at it. Yes, some of these terminals could be, I mean, that there, look how just black that is compared to the rest. But most of it is covered. Most of it is covered. And I like that. Yes, there's work to you know to get stuck into, like this here. But it's one of the better ones so far. So, you know, I really do like what they've done with the winter scene here. But last but no means least, let's hit it up at the night time and see what the night lighting looks like. So here we are at night, and I have to say I definitely like the night textures. You know, unlike some of the others that we've reviewed where they lit the taxiway center line, these guys have chosen to light the actual edges of the taxiways, and that I don't mind that. You know, I would prefer maybe if, like we got here, blue either side for the edges, and then maybe a green light running down for the taxiways. You know, that it's hard to see in an aircraft at the moment, and when it's lit up, you can't really see the taxiways that well at night. But the runway looks nice, and the surrounding lighting looks nice. There is one thing we'll check actually. That's pretty cool though. It's lit up red. Is the yeah. So the markings light up by default. But look how dark it is down here with the stop marking. So maybe something to bear that in mind. And here we go. So the terminal looks awesome. The lighting, it's really lit up really well. And then obviously the terminal buildings themselves look like they're super bright. The car park's lit up, you know, nicely. So they put that all up there. And again, it continues around here, really nicely done in terms of the lighting, the catering vans, you know, these custom airport vehicles. This car park, although the middle's not lit up, the edges are all lit up. The only, again, part I will point is, you know where these floating orbs are, so why not just build lampposts in? I don't know how hard that would be, but just, you know, build lampposts in going all the way down. You would not have floating orbs then that light up. You know, I'm guessing the developers, in terms of vertical simulations, have obviously checked the night lighting on here. You can see this. They could just go, okay, build one in, build one in. I don't know how hard it would be. I mean, I'm no developer, so, but if it's possible and it's easy, you could easily do that. Again, far apron, all lit up. And the far stands, far sort of FBO areas, general aviation areas, all lit up nicely as you'd expect. I mean, the control tower is kind of lit up. We would imagine inside lighting up, but it'd be nice if you maybe put some lights across the top of it here. But overall, it's a really nice. So, as always, you know, we're going to compare some sim shots to some real life shots just to get an idea of the layout of the sim. So let's go take a look at that.
500. Cessna 182 Hotel Papa, Norfolk Tower, runway 5, you're clear to land, wind 02022, gust 27.
020 at 22, gust 27, 182 Hotel Papa, thank you.
Five hundred.
So how do I feel about this Verticalsim Norfolk International overall? Well, I actually like it. You know, I think they've done a great job. Yeah, there are some small little things they can work on, but not what a simple patch may fix. You know, as little stop bars maybe, that would be a nice feature. Not necessarily needed, but would be a nice feature. The car parks obviously need addressing. It's not the first add-on that I've seen this. It makes me wonder if this is some kind of developer option they've got with cars, and it's just mashing them together that way. But it doesn't look pretty when you've got all the cars in one big car crash in the car park. But with the custom ground vehicles, that's really good. You know, the apron wear and tear, really nice. Yes, it's let down by the odd texture, low res texture, such as on the roofs, but I can overlook that. You know, Norris Airport, really nice airport to fly into. The sort of things I can't give it a perfect, but I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 for this. It's a really nice airport and one of the better ones that they've made. So if you're in the Norfolk area or you're sitting on the fence to buy it or an R in it and you're going to be using this a lot, definitely go out there and buy it. It's worth it, and these guys are going to be constantly updating it anyway. But as always, please remember, if you've not done yet, subscribe to the channel, like and leave a comment, because this interaction makes it more enjoyable for me. But for now, stay safe, take care.